Okay. All in whose nostrils was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land, died. And every living thing, substance was destroyed, which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and creeping thing, and the fowl of the heaven, and they were destroyed from the earth, and Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark, and the waters prevailed upon the earth. All right, 150 days. It's like half a year. So once again, the flood waters went across the mountains. There's enough water now to flood the whole earth. So I don't want to hear no nonsense about how the flood waters can't flood the earth. There's enough water now to flood the whole earth. Africa has found water under their land, and Africa will now sustain itself with its own water. The Africans have been getting bombed from hell up to high water since the 1800s because the white man is involved in eugenics and population control. He's the devil. He's got to go. But the Africans are going to use that water in order to sustain themselves. And the Iraq and the both Iraq wars and a lot of these wars in Lebanon and everything of the such is basically about stealing their water, not their oil. Oil is unnecessary, and it's not. And it's not. Oil is not necessary because all we got to do is use nuclear power. When Cain got that curse on him that the earth won't yield forth its strength, it didn't mean that the earth will reject him. It meant that Cain's policies will turn on him because Cain's thing is to control. You understand? But his attempts to control is not going to work. His attempts to control is not going to work. So that's what the thou tillest the ground. But it's specifically talking about oil because we all know what the oil is all about. If the oil yielded forth its strength, then the oil would sustain the economies and it'll be all good. But it's not even about the oil. It's about control. And the oil can't bring control. The white man cannot control you with oil. So he's using viruses and deception and cracker, listen, hurry up and end the world, man. Stop fucking around. Verse 8. Okay. And God remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged. The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. I didn't read that part because I'm not going to get into it here and now, but the fountains of deep is what started the flood. There was heavy water under the earth, and since the earth was so hot, when the waters came up onto the ground, it created the morning dew so that there was no need for rain. This massive amount of water burst up into the air as steam. The steam became rain, and the thick atmosphere that was already covering the earth from the radiation fell down as rain itself as well. So you had rain from the top, you had rain from the bottom, or fountain from the bottom, flooded the whole earth. Now the earth really should have exploded, but the Lord spared us. Okay. Genesis chapter 8, verse 13, all the way down to the end. And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the first month, the first day of the month, the waters were dried up from off the earth, and Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. In the 601st year, in the first month, the first day. And Noah built an altar unto the Lord, and took of every clean beast, and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings unto the altar. So you see, this is the last man alive, and he's doing the burnt offering. So the law was known in Noah's time, because Noah was practicing the law. Okay. And the Lord smelled a sweet savor, and the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake. For the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth, neither will I again smite any more everything living as I have done. So you see, God is not going to bother destroying everything for God, for mankind's sake. What he's going to do is that he's just going to deal with us. And he is just going to deal with us. He's going to deal with us in World War III. He's going to have to come down and smack the hell out of us. See, it was easier in the first world because he could just change everything. But now he's going to have to do it himself because because he knows that even the earth is more valuable than us. So he's not going to bother doing that. Here's the interesting thing that I wanted to bring out. While the earth remaineth seed time and harvest and cold and heat and summer and winter and day and night shall not cease. Now what in the hell does that mean? That means that we have seasons now. Before the first world, there was no seasons. But now he's saying that seed time, harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. You understand? So why is the scriptures making a point and saying that there will be summer and winter, and there will be cold and heat, and there will be seed time and harvest? Also day and night, but there was days and nights before too. But why is he saying that these things are not going to cease? Because there were no seasons. It was always seed time and harvest. It was never cold. It was never winter. But now there is, because that flood changed the earth and transformed it dramatically. Yes, 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 yes. The black man ruled Europe for 1,000 years. The black man ruled Europe for 1,000 years. Going to be doing this a little bit in real time, so you see the clicking of the dial. All right. Okay. Black man ruled Europe for 1,000 years. Byzantine Emperor Philippicus Bardanes. He ordered the death of Justin II's son. Black man ruled Europe for 1,000 years. Edward the Black Prince of Wales. Authentic picture of Edward the Black Prince of Wales. He should have became king, but he didn't quite make it. Why was he called the Black King? Back then, the word black meant bleached up and pale, so I suspect that this was a renaming, because there's also documents of him being called the Negro Prince. Wales was dominated by white people, and the whites from Wales eventually took over England in 1485. But you know, that's an authentic picture of Edward the Black Prince of Wales. Okay, brown version. Edward the Black Prince of Wales. It's funny how these workers for Romanos the First all look dark skinned. All right. Byzantine Emperor Nicephorus the First, pouring it on, just pouring it all on now, not even sparing you, not even having mercy on you, just throwing it at you and not giving a fuck. Completely and totally throwing it at you and not giving two hells of a fuck and a goddamn. Just throwing it all at you. Nicephorus the First, not to be confused with any relationships to the second and the third. They were, came after, but Nicephorus the First. And I just want you to look at this picture, man. Nicephorus the First, he literally looks purple. Literally. Like he looks like a purple man. He looks like a freaking purple man. Okay? The black man ruled Europe for 1,000 years. And Nicephorus the First looks like a purple man. He's meeting with Krum of Bulgaria, because them damn Bulgarians, they broke away from the Byzantine Empire. And we started infighting among ourselves up there in Bulgaria. Okay? Nicephorus the fucking First. Okay, Nicephorus the First, 802 to 811. Okay?